Good morning, everybody. Good morning. How's everybody doing? I hope y'all hear me okay because my mixer thing here, audio mixer, updated like 30 minutes ago. So hopefully y'all can hear me. I think y'all should. Everything looked good, but just wanted to be sure. You have to change your volume today. Nice. Loud and clear. Awesome. So, we got a lot to unpack here today. First of all, we did have an ADP report this morning. We also have news at 9:45. We have news at 10 a.m. So we have a little something. But let me jump right into these charts here real quick before we get going into anything. All right, so yesterday we did have that down close day. So we did come down into, all this gapping going on here. Today, I'm not sure that we just continued down. You see how we reached into this set of down close candles here with the wick. So I do want to watch today and see if we are going to leave a fair value gap here somewhere, or if we're going to come up and rebalance it completely. Not entirely sure, but there is a lot going on the other time frames here. So let's jump into it real quick. We are coming down, right? This is the 4-hour chart. Look at the bodies on this. Man, look at the bodies. So we are coming down. We have this bit of a fair value gap here, but there's also a new day opening gap there. As you can see right here, we took these lows, came down, created this fair value gap, pulled up into it, and we've come down. So let's see if we come up and continue down or what we do there. But also on the 1-hour chart, this is where it gets pretty interesting. So I'm seeing this as an order block right here, this up close candle. It's going to be a bearish order block. It reached up into this fair value gap and then rolled over and just kept going, leaving a fair value gap right here. So I'm looking right here's the midpoint of that daily fair value gap, this little light pinkish line. So if we do reach up, I want to see the reaction right there with this bearish order block right there. Now on the flip side, here is what I'm looking at. This candle, down close candle, I'm looking at as a bullish order block for the 1-hour chart here. And if you look at it, let's zoom in a little bit here. We have this inversion, right? We did leave this fair value gap, which it got traded through, but then we have this fair value gap and taking these highs. So I'm thinking we come back into here, hit this bullish order block, and potentially come back up to this area right up there, around that 720 area. Just based on the 1-hour chart. Now, obviously, I have to come down to my lower time frames to see what's going to happen. So looking at it here, if I just zoom into this area, because now we have these highs. We have this low. Okay. So basically what I'm looking at right here is we have this buy side liquidity, basically where this London range was, right? Buy side liquidity. We ran that buy side liquidity. And if I take this dealing range from this high to this low right here, that's equilibrium right there where we just ran up into. So I want to keep an eye on that. That would be, so now we're in the basically the discount of that dealing range. We're pushing down here. See, that's where I have that 1-hour order block. So that's kind of what I'm looking at. Not too much on the 15-minute chart here. There is a fair value gap right here where this 1-hour fair value gap is. But yeah, now let me hop down to the 1 minute. And this is where I have the low way over here. I have this high that we made. All right. Here, we have a little bit of a minor sell side liquidity inside that 1-hour fair value gap. So I can definitely see us coming down into that area, sweeping this minor sell side, hitting that 1-hour order block. Here's that minor sell side. Here's this 1-hour fair value gap. And then inside the London range. This is the midpoint of the London range as well. Now, doesn't mean we're not going to keep going down. We could, but I want to see first this area, the reaction in here. Are we just going to sweep this area and head up? And now, look, we left relative equal highs right here after the open. Then we have some nice buy-side liquidity up here. So are we going to head all the way down to that sell side way down there? Or are we going to stay in this area and head up here? It's kind of what I'm looking at for today. And we did reach up into that new day opening gap as well. And I want to see if we have opening range gap here, which we closed. Now, we didn't really have an opening range gap today. So, yeah, that's pretty much what I'm looking at for this morning. All right. Good morning, Greasy, Will, Chris, Max, Peter, Tony, the Oracle, Corey, David, Erlen. Good morning, everybody. Last day of the $40 PA sale. So, if you can, grab some. Now, if we get below this area that I mentioned here, if we get below this area, then I might be, more of the opinion that we could head all the way down here to that sell side and continue our bearish overall, move here. But we do have a little fair value gap right there. But being inside, let's see, you can't really see it. I believe right here, underneath these lines, this midnight opening price and all that, is the midpoint of that 1 hour order block. So right here's the high of it. Right here's the high. Right here's the midpoint. Price could be, anywhere in this area. I'm really not looking to go short. So let's see what happens here. Like I said, we have some 9:45 a.m. news. We have 10 a.m. news. And if you didn't see, Trump is supposed to speak at 1 p.m. That's going to be anticipated. So the further we get along in the morning and early afternoon, most likely the more the market will probably stall. So be aware of that. All right, let's see if we get a fair value gap in here. I would not long this yet, but I want to see if we get this. And then if price comes back into it, what do we do? Because now we have some buy-side liquidity right up here at these relative equal highs that we left. And then we have higher. And then, like I said, I think we're going to get up to that 7, whatever I said earlier. Around 717, somewhere in that area. This right here would be, could be a bullish order block. And we'll see if NQ wants to play nice. The gold bug. Chris has the gold bug. How's gold looking for you, Chris? All right, we got this little fair value gap right here. Not long. I'm not taking this trade, but I want to see, what do we do here? How are we going to react? So the time that I looked at, Chris will answer better, Will, but the time I looked last week, now it could be due to because that was a day for, what was it, Chris? The day I told you I was looking at gold? Was that FO? No, was it FOMC? No, I don't know. It's one of the days that there was something going on. So it may have been due to that, but holy moly, that, man, it moves too slow for me. Or at least that day it did. But also, I wasn't looking during the time of the highest volatility. Like 9 a.m. to 9:30 is where gold is going to be the highest, the most volatile. Was it CPI? It was something. May have been CPI. No, I don't know what it was. All right, so we're reaching down into this fair value gap. So, as I mentioned yesterday, if you're taking fair value gaps like this where there's a double, you should wait for that lower one, because oftentimes if you take the higher one, well, for me, oftentimes if I take the higher one looking to go long, it'll reach down to that lower one. If I don't take the lower, wait for the lower one, or if I do wait for the lower one, it'll go into the higher one and take off. And Q doesn't like me like that. All right, let's see if we're trying to reach into this order block or if we are just going to keep going down. John, what do you got confused? The high volume moved to 10:30 PH time. I'm not sure. I only refer to things in Eastern time, just so that way everybody's on the same page. Yeah, I will. Every time it does that, I swear it does that. And then also the other thing that happens to me is if I get into a trade that I really don't love, and I'm like, man, I probably shouldn't take this, which, by the way, we shouldn't do that. But anyways, I know we all do that, where it's like, it looks okay, I'm going to get in it. And then you end up getting in it. You're like, I really don't like it. And then you're like, okay, when this comes back into, like if it's in the heat a little bit, and then it comes back, you're like, all right, if this goes to profit a little bit, I'm going to move to break even. And then every time it gets right back to your end, it's like all of a sudden your order entry is just some kind of barrier and it can't pass it, so you can't go back to break even. I swear that happens to me all the time. So that's just like the trading gods telling me, just don't get into trades you don't like. All right, so look at this. We came back down. We inverted both of those, created an inversion, and we created this SIBI. However, because this is an area that I'm not looking to short right here, this is not a short entry that I'm even really considering. I'm trying to see if we reclaim, which we did reclaim this one. I want to see if we reclaim both of these fair value gaps. It could go short, but that's not something. But look at the order block. Look at the reaction here. Look at the bodies. It overshot the order block, the opening right here a little bit, and look at the bodies closed above the open of this order block. So let's see if it does indeed continue up, or we might sit around this area and not do much, or if it goes down. Let's see. But this area right here, I'm really not interested in shorting until we get lower. Unless we get lower and it shows me we're going to just head down. I really believe we're going to get up to that 7. Right up in this area. 717. Yep. Opposing 1 minute fair value gaps. I really want to see this one, this SIBI, get inverted. These two get reclaimed. And then, go up from there. But to be honest, I'm not too excited about taking a long until we can. I really want to see it kind of clear this area up here. So I have a lot of room to go higher. So I really kind of want to see it clear this. Otherwise, it could keep doing this for a little bit and chop you out. So we have that 9:45 news, and again, we have that 10 a.m. news as well. It's going to be some high-impact news, or decently high impact. So we did reclaim these two fair value gaps. We inverted this one. See if we get another one in here. I'm probably going to rely. I'm really liking that 15-second chart that we talked about yesterday. See if we get this fair value gap right here. Yeah, it may take this buy side liquidity here before. I really don't want that to happen, but yep. It's going to go through it first. Really didn't want to see that happen. I wanted to be in a trade to go through there. But the good thing is, like I said, I have much higher than I believe we're going to go. So, but at this point, with it clearing this buy side liquidity, let's see what it does here. But man, I really wanted to be in a trade to that. Man, I might miss it. I might not get a trade. I wanted to be in to that. And because now, I mean, it really shouldn't. Well, what I'll probably do, though, is because see, we're going to get another fair value gap right here. You got to be careful on deeper pullbacks, too, with this price action. It probably won't because it's moving pretty nicely up there to where I thought it would go. But you got to be careful. Like this gap, fair value gap down here, like we could come back down to it. We could come back here. But that's where that 15-second play, can be very, very handy, waiting for some confirmations. Because if we do pull back to here, you don't want to just long this because it very well could come back to here. Maybe even test this inversion. But now you have to be very patient. Don't feel like you're missing out, because it's easy to say, man, I knew, like, I really had it going up here. I really have it going up here. You know, I wanted to get in, like, I literally wanted an entry down here to go up through this buy side liquidity. Sometimes that's how it works, and it sucks, especially whenever you're lately either not doing well or not getting a lot of trades in. Like, that's the stuff that really tests your patience, and that's the stuff that's going to really make or break you long term, to be honest. See if we get a little fair value gap right in here. Because I'm very confident we're going to go up to that 717 area. Yep, exactly. It's early in the day. No need for FOMO. Just keep in mind we have 10 a.m. news. All right, so we got this fair value gap. Let's see how we hold up here. If we come back into it, and we did not. But like I said, too, in the beginning, we very well could, once we reach up into this area, like if I get nothing, once we reach up into this area here, I'll be interested in seeing how price reacts, what we're going to do from there, basically. If we're going to continue a overall bearish move or what, so... Yeah, I mean, this order block reacted perfectly. Look at that. Order block came back in, inversion, reclaimed these fair value gaps. I mean, this could have been, if you had a different entry model, you could have, I mean, this was definitely longing area in here. There was entries there as well, depending on your model. I personally don't take order blocks or, you know, things that look like this, inversions and all that. Yeah, see, look at it. It's going to go all the way up there. It's the way it goes sometimes. But see, you got to keep in mind, too, like, on days like this, it's easy to get discouraged if you are not in a trade and you're watching it go to where you thought it was going to go. But you have to put some positivity in there in your mind. And you can't get like, man, I wish I shoulda, coulda, woulda. Don't be a should head, all right? I should have done this, should have done that. That's called a should head, all right? Don't be a should head. Instead, look at the silver lining. Say, man, this is a great day. I got the direction right. I got the read right. I read everything good. This is where you take screenshots, and then you wait for opportunities like this again. Like, if I don't get anything today, yeah, it sucks, but I got the read right. So, like, you got to look at that as a win. All right, now let's look at this fair value gap. Got to include the volume balance in there. Nice, John. You got it. We reached into that one. Let's see if we get a play here on the 15-second. But it could reach lower back into this lower candle, so got to be careful. See, now let me go to the 15-second and show you guys. Since we reached into that 1 minute fair value gap, we're looking for a closure above, and this is Will's. I'm not going to take credit. This is Will's entry model here. You got to look for a closure above this, the body of this candle here, and then look for price to go above that closed candle. Yeah, I'm being careful with this lower one here for sure because of how we just ran up. See, now we got a closure here, but we would have to need this candle to go above it right there. Then a stop would be right here at this low at 650. Entry would be right around here, 71, 650. Aim for up here. It might work out, but 21 point stop, target right up there. But yeah, that is with today's price action. Being careful is not bad because there probably is going to be more opportunities. And what I don't like about that one, even though the 15-second chart like would have showed you a like an entry there, like you could have taken that chance if you're okay with the risk, right? You could have taken that. However, to Will's point, like this is what I mean. Look at all this. Price just from this area shot up, right? Untouched. This fair value gap. This fair value gap untouched, and this one is the first one. This one's the first one. When we have that, it could very well reach into this one, reach it like before continuing up. I mean, we've gone how many points from basically just look at that high right there to where we are now. 111 points. I mean, basically straight up. And if we take it back down from this area, from this candle here that went, I mean, 157 points. Like, that's a risk. I mean, you could take that risk, but at some point, this thing's got to pull back. Yeah, there you go. And that's what I like about this strategy with the 15-second chart as well. Let me go back to it. And, man, Will's put on a masterclass with these 15-second entries and everything. And basically, I guess I'm just here to present it to everybody. So, Will, we're gonna make some noise with this 15-second chart. But anyways, so that's also what I like with this is, let's say you did get this entry, and this is what your trade is. Oh, okay, don't know why that did that. And let's say this is what your trade's looking like. Something to this nature. Dang, why did it? What's going on here? Okay. I guess it wants like a 1,000,000 point profit target on that. Okay. Let's say your trade looks something like this. This is what I like. Oh, there's that 10 a.m. news. This is what I like, though, because as soon as, I mean, you can really essentially move to break even fairly quick, right? And if it comes and knocks you out, like, you're going to have opportunities to get back in again. So I do like that a lot. I was trying to explain that, but now we got this news, and my position thing there was just acting funky. Yeah, for sure. That's a good RR. And that's the thing that I love. You get, I guess I'm just going to keep bragging on this over and over, but there's many pros. Like, I always try to look at things, the old Benjamin Franklin strategy, right? When you're trying to figure out if something's good or not, you make a pros and cons list. Call it the T chart. Make a T, put all the pros and cons. And the pros, if the pros outweigh the cons, hey, might be a good idea. And in this case, it really does. You get a smaller stop loss in most situations. You get confirmation, extra confirmation. And then if your risk is, say, like mine was already 40 points a day, if I'm risking 15 to 20 on these trades, I could take 2, because it could be a situation where it just wanted to pull back, knock you out, but it's still going to go to that target. Because there's many times that I've had that happen where I'm like, I know price is going to go to this target. It's just when. And sometimes it might do another stop run on you or something, and you're a part of that stop run. Knocks you out, but you can still participate in the overall move. So great stuff. Great stuff. But let's see what happens here. Now we hit this 1 hour fair value gap, right? The order block is, the 1 hour order block is basically right here where I have this daily fair value gap marked, the midpoint. But let's see what we have here with this news. What's going to happen? Since we have the news. Now we're back into this fair value gap. I think we have room to go higher, but again, I can't marry that idea that we have to get up to that 717. The market might only want to reach back up to this, stay in the lower portion of this 1 hour fair value gap and make its way down. That's a very possibility. So just got to be aware of that. So like right now, I want to be cautious going long. You missed your opportunity to buy in Q, Max. Hey, that's okay. There's more opportunity. There's going to be more. Because, see, I want to be careful that maybe, like, from this area that I mentioned up to that 1 hour fair value gap, if that's as high as the market needs to go, look, that's last week's low right here. I think I'm overall more bearish, right, for the day or for the next couple days. So do we want to start making our way back down again? That's what I want to be careful of. I don't want to marry the idea of it reaching a little bit higher, because it got up to, what's this high? 698.75. Again, like we said yesterday, double zeros, 700, that's a psychological level. It might not even ever hit that. Retail could get trapped in there, but it could. So I don't want to, 698.75, I don't want to marry the idea that it's going to have to go up another 18 points, 19 points. It very well could, but I don't want to just like fall into that and it just continue down lower. Nice. So Will says his stats suggest that if a fair value gap, a 1 minute fair value gap, is tapped into a second time, that it has less than a 40% chance of the trade working. So, like, for example, how I just mentioned going long in this one earlier, right here, when it tapped it that first time from the 15-second chart, it didn't reach that target up there. However, it did reach, you could have gotten some profit out of it for sure. But let's say it's coming back into it and you're looking for another entry to go long, to go higher. Basically, need to wait for another change in the state, a second change in the state of delivery. But if not, then this has, based on his stats, less than a 40% chance of holding up and continuing higher. But see, this is where like you would want to wait for a change in state of delivery, but you know, for me now, there's not enough room to go long anymore. If I did want to go long, I would need it basically to clear this area right here, and then I'd have to start looking for higher targets. But more than likely, I would just sit out from that point. If we clear this area, and just like say trade up here, I probably won't. I'll just have to miss the move today. Unfortunately. But I can look like let's go ahead and start glancing though. What do we have on the 15-minute chart? More than likely we have this high up here. It's probably gonna be some buy side liquidity right up here. I mean, that's pretty far though. Look, 893.50. Above that, I mean, and then we have the fair value, this fair value gap right here. There may not be much else to stop price. The opening range gap below from the other day, yesterday. There might not be much else to stop price from continuing up from that point on. We'll see. You took a gold trade, Chris? Did you go long, short? What'd you do? Gold looks a little choppy. Oh, that's because I'm on the 15-minute time frame there. Ooh, you got relative equal highs up there. Are you short? Yeah. So let's see. Look at that. Ooh, look at that. Look at that reaction right off of that. That's where that order block is, that 1 hour order block, bearish order block, and the midpoint of the daily fair value gap right there. Look at that reaction. Let's see. Yeah, Chris. Look at those relative equal highs right up there. Ooh, buy side liquidity right up here on that 15-minute chart. Buy side liquidity up here. There's a lot of buy side liquidity on that gold chart. Relative equal highs right there on the 5-minute. Yeah, I don't know about your short there. You marked out that buy side, but you didn't want to aim for it? Yeah, I'm not familiar with how gold moves. All right, so let's see if we get an inversion here. If we get an inversion, we might have even a breaker. This inversion here might be areas to start looking at some shorts, potentially. Potentially, I say. Because, see, we have got this high, low, higher high. Let's see if we make a lower low. If that happens, then we'll have a breaker and inversion right there to look at. You're breaking up with gold if you lose today? Yeah, Chris, come back from the dark side, buddy. NQ to me, even though, like that's what I say all the time. I know y'all have had to hear me say this before. When I step back, if I'm having a tough time or whatever, or I think the market's bad, there's three things. Is it me? Is it the market? Or is it both? And in most cases, it's either me or both. It's usually never just the market. And whenever it's both, it's usually, okay, maybe the market was kind of bad, but I probably did something stupid too. So it's like when I zoom out and I'm clear-minded and I'm not trying to trade and I look at it and I'm like, man, I can just read NQ so much better. Most of the times it's just me being dumb. But NQ, yeah, NQ sometimes gets ugly, but when it's ugly, it's literally telling you not to trade. And it's just, the discipline psychology part that creeps in. So that's just the way it is. Doesn't mean I need to, for me anyways, doesn't mean I need to go and find another market, because I just need to be patient. Sorry, I had to take a screenshot of something if my screen froze for a second. All right, let's see. Let's see what we do here. Here, let me put this fair value gap back so we can see how it's working. It's working inside that there. Yep. I blame the market. Yeah. Yeah, look how the stats playing out. So let's see. I really want to see if we get. So I mean, we do have this inversion, which I need to adjust my fair value gaps here because I don't like them anymore. Going all the way, extending all the way. Since I'm doing things. So we have this inversion. But we have an inversion. We still have this fair value gap that has not been inverted yet. So I want to see if we trade below this low to get a breaker. Then this will be a nice inversion to keep an eye on if we return to it. And remember, as we get closer and closer to lunchtime, 11, 12, we got Trump speaking at 1. The market's probably going to wait and anticipate him. Maybe. I mean, maybe not, but. So let's see. We have traded below this, but like I want it to be I don't want it to barely pop below and just, I want it to really show me like, hey, let's go down. Let's continue down. We do have, so if you look here, we did create that big 15-minute fair value gap right here as well. So be aware of that. Be aware of that. We're reaching down into that. We probably have a 5-minute. Yeah, we got a couple 5-minute fair value gaps in there as well. So it's not very enticing for a short just because we have all that. It very well could come back down to where this old buy side, this 596 as a mitigation. But I'm not really, I'm not banking on that. But that would be a mitigation area, that 596. You see how it's just hesitating, building up here? We're definitely at an area that I don't like to be in. I don't like this area. I do love that reaction right here. I do like that we have a bit of a breaker forming. However, I don't like that we barely wicked under it right there, right? We do have this inversion right here, but without a nice closure here, I don't like this inversion. And also, of course, now the big 15-minute fair value gap right here. So if we do dig into this 15-minute fair value gap, I'd probably only expect that 596, unless if it really just went through and showed me otherwise. The 9:30 macro? You must be in a different time zone, Tony. Yeah, Max. I wouldn't be. Yeah, if it closed below there, I wouldn't. There could be a potential to make some points in there for sure. It's just for me, it's not as high probability. Look at the bodies. I mean, the bodies tell the story, right? So look at the bodies in this fair value gap, all closing in the upper half, right here. Hit that inversion. Nice reaction off the inversion. It's technically a breaker, although I don't like just a wick. But it's technically a breaker, and this would be the golden inversion right here. Speaking in technicalities, I guess. Yep, exactly right, Will. We've seen momentum die after that morning move, and now we're sitting just in an area that is not so great between higher time frame fair value gaps. Yeah, it's not high probability conditions for sure. So, unfortunately, it's looking like another no trade day for me. But y'all know that by now. I'm not the type that's going to come in here and just hop into trades left and right. So, can't do it. Especially because I don't trade just prop firms. I don't just have Apex accounts. I also trade my live account, and you can't do that with a live account. Even though my live account is hurting right now. But, yeah. All right, let's see what we do here. Let's see. 1021 volatility. Like I said, I don't think I've ever heard of anybody talk about 1021 macro or anything, but I always see a spike in volatility at 1021 every single day. Yeah, I'm going to wait a little bit here. So when I say that too, it's because I'm trying to get my mind in the right, my mindset correct in telling myself that I might not get a trade today. If it's around this time, then I want to start preparing because I don't want to feel like I need to get that trade and then I force something. So I know by 10:20, 10:40, if there's nothing looking good, I need to just shut it down. So once we start getting to around this time, I just start mentally preparing myself. That's literally the only reason why I do that. Just to mentally prepare. So I don't do nothing stupid. Yeah, you noticed that too, Max? No, it's serious. That 1021, I've noticed this literally for 2 years. And it started because when I first started trading ICT concepts, a lot of my trade entries, for some reason, when I first started at 1021, there was always an entry for me. I'm like, what the heck? And then I just started noticing that forever. 1021. I don't know what it is. All right, so if we reclaim this, we may just go up. Because now we reach down. This may become a bullish order block. This series of down close candles right here. Of course, that's all if we continue higher. So we reached into that 15-minute fair value gap, hit this 1-minute fair value gap that we had right here. Right? Potentially, if we get a closure above here, this will be a bullish order block. We might get a fair value gap, and then that might send us higher. Yeah, it's one of those things, Will, like, you can figure out if you're trying to find some kind of synchronicity, you can you can make numbers add up somehow, somewhere to say, whoa. See, now if we reclaim this, and leave a fair value gap, that might be an entry to go long. Or it might be time for the market to just keep going long. Not sure if I want to take it, but let's see. Maybe. Well, we got this lower fair value gap, and then we got this one here too. With the order block. So that's going to be an order block right there. So we'll see right in there what happens. And if this just flies up through this high and just keeps going, then I'm definitely done for sure. Yeah, I'm gonna hold off. I was thinking about it. I was looking at that 15-second chart. I'm gonna hold off. I'm not. I don't know. The feeling, like, I gotta feel good, and if I don't have that feeling, then it's probably gonna go. I probably should have taken this, but so, like, here was where I was looking at. Basically right there. I was looking for a closure above this. Pull back into that 1 minute fair value gap. We got a closure here. Then an entry would be right up here. Stop at this low. So it's about a 27-point stop. Why does this thing keep doing it? I'm doing something wrong with that. Okay, that's weird. I don't know why this thing keeps doing this. Aim to close the rest of this fair value gap here. There's not too much room. I'm not very convinced it was going to keep going up. That's kind of why I didn't take it, because, yeah, it may keep going up, but like earlier I had strong, because for me I have to have really strong targets where I'm very convinced that we're going to go to. And earlier I was very convinced right here, this level we're going to go to. That we're hitting, basically. It's 717. I was very convinced. Now, above that, we could keep going, but I'm not. It's not something that I was already looking at like, oh, I'm very convinced we're going to get there. So that's why I didn't take this. But yeah. Now, yeah, what I could have done, actually, and I didn't do, is measure that opening range. So we have, let's take a look at that real quick. Here's 9:36. That's going to be the low. Where's 10 a.m.? Right here. Here's 10 a.m. So this is the high. Here's our opening range. Let me throw some deviations up. So this was our opening range. Here's the high. Right there. The opening range high. And then our deviations, we have 748, 800. 904. That'd be the opening range deviations. However, like I said, I'm not fully convinced. I'm really not. So that's why I didn't take it. I just don't. So to me, the move, if you didn't take, so the move of the day, and look how it's rejecting off that. So glad I didn't take it. But look at the move of the day was down here, of course. If you had an entry, if your entry model allowed you to get in down here. I mean, this is beautiful. I just didn't have an entry model for it. So that was definitely the move of the day. And then this fair value gap in here to go up to that point. That to me was the two. That was the move of the day there. Yeah. Again, this is where break even is 7. Oh, cool. So you took that. Will? Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I could have done that and just moved to break even quick. So, like, my entry, let's look at what that would have looked like. It wouldn't have hit my target. I would have been out at break even. So you can do that as well. Like, let's say this is your entry, and you're aiming for the high here. Just as an example, as soon as you get halfway, or just set some kind of metric, like whether it's 50% of your trades, 75%, then you move to break even. Because if you would have said, oh, once I'm 75% in the profit, 70%, whatever you want to say, move to break even plus commissions. I mean, no harm, no foul, right? This one, I didn't quite get there. Maybe you aim for this high on the left over here. Maybe you aim back for that, whatever it is. So, that's managing your risk. That's managing your trade, and that's very important. But yeah, so like the question I always ask myself, and I try to remember, is I like to say, if I take this trade and it loses, how will I feel? Ask yourself that all the time. And that's why I was sitting there a little quiet, because I was asking myself that. I was like, do I want to take this trade? I was thinking about it. If I get in, how am I going to manage it? How confident am I in a target? And if I take it and it loses, how will I feel? So like, I was literally asking myself that while I was debating on taking this trade. And I basically I came to the conclusion that if I took it and it lost, I probably wouldn't like it that much, because I was a little hesitant on it anyways. But then the main thing was, do I really believe in a target above this midpoint of this daily fair value gap? And really my answer was no. So that's why I stayed out. Hey, 20 points is... You can make a killer living off 20 points a day. Great job. Great job. And I'll probably do more of those. It's because I am newer into taking these trades based on 15-second confirmations. Because of that, I'm really wanting to take the trades that I really like the most. And not that I didn't like that one as much. It's just I knew it's one where I'm squeezing, and I would need to move to break even pretty quickly on it. So I just elected to stay out. But that one, yeah, I mean, look at that. And you would have had two opportunities today, actually. So you had an opportunity here in this one. It would have pulled back on you. It didn't go all the way to that target. This one was a second trade, right, in that 1 minute fair value gap. Maybe not would have taken this one all the way up there. So we had that first one over here. It would have had a nice, and that's the thing. You can set rules with these as well. Because look, let's go back to this one real quick. Would have been entry here. This stupid thing. Why is it doing this? It's getting very frustrating. Like, this thing just moves. Wow, stop it. I don't understand. Here, maybe that's why. Maybe the 15-second chart is moving too fast. No? Okay. Trading view. Being annoying. I gotta like grab it real quick and move it. Okay, there we go. So let's say I was aiming for there. You could set rules like, okay, I have a 44-point target. When it gets halfway, I'll move to break even. Or, when it gets halfway, move to break even. When it gets 70%, I move to a 20% profit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you could set rules. That way, you're not always getting broke even. And it's not always going to be break even trades. You're going to win a lot. But set, some profit's better than no profit, right? So lock in some profit, lock in break evens. Because here's the thing. When you're managing your trade, you're eliminating losses. Those break evens, those 10 points, those 20 points, man, they're going to add up when you're removing those losing trades. And then when you do have losing trades, if they're only 15, 20 points, I mean, numbers, that's where the numbers are numbers and they just make sense. And that's literally how you put probabilities in your favor. Like literally how you put probabilities in your favor. And when you put probabilities in your favor, that's when you become profitable over the long term. So is that what's going on? TradingView is having glitches. Man, this thing has been so annoying. John, I don't have a video talking about the 15-second. However, yesterday's live stream, we got into a little bit more of the explanation, and explanation and kind of teaching part of it, of how it's used as confirmation. And maybe I do need to make a video on it. But like I said, I definitely do not want to take credit for this at all, because this is all Will. All Will. He's done the testing. He's done the data. I mean, he's been in the weeds of it for over a year of doing this, literally. So, and to me, I feel like this can truly be game changer for a lot of people, and including myself. So that's why I'm like on it so much. So yeah. But that's all for today. I'm gonna hop off. There's gonna be nothing for me. Literally, I now we're in that. Oh, I'm still on the 1 minute chart here. We're still in that area of where I'm not loving it. Now we're at 10:36. So yeah, I need to hop off here. But hey, it's still a good day. It's a good day. There's opportunities, and actually, y'all are kind of seeing it with me. Like, I've been watching this 15-minute chart or 15-second chart, and y'all are kind of going through it with me of the tape reading, right? The tape reading of it, watching price action, see how it works over and over and over. And that's literally what you got to do. And then you collect data. In this case, we're all leveraging Will. So using that data to get comfortable and seeing how it operates, start putting a plan around it if that's something you want to do. So, hey, just another opportunity, another way to potentially be successful at this trading, because I know if most people get into trading for two things, right? It's definitely to make money, but mostly it's for freedom, right? That's in my opinion, mostly it's for freedom. People want to be free. Maybe they, your in your later years, you never really plan for retirement the right way. So this could be your retirement. You trade a little bit every day. So whatever it is, but hopefully this stream helps achieve whatever your goals are somehow. So don't blame Will. I'm blaming Will. It's all Will. All right, y'all. I'm going to hop off here. I will be back tomorrow. So thanks for joining me today on this stream. And yeah, see y'all tomorrow. And as always, trade well, everybody. Take care.